me.
Good answer.
Maybe, yeah, Taz, I think.
I guess there was Bella. She kind of is.
Anyway,
Here you are.
nothing starts until you take action. If you've got time to worry, run.
That's
Awesome.
true.
I think
Good advice.
I think Sonic said that before the 7-7 bombings.
Wonderful.
That's what he said in the beginning of the Smash Bros. Ultimate before the god stabbed everyone. Sonic could have got away, but he went back to try and save Pikachu.
Yeah. They're both needle mice.
True.
That's true.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, last we left off, you had made your rounds taking care of the rest of the debtors. There was a bit of a. I believe it started with Angelo and Hero, right? Going to take on the smuggler trio that were running underground poker games. They got into a bit of action. There was some result of resistance. Had a fight in a decrepit windmill that led to a barn where the others were hiding out. Angelo caused a huge fire after a lightning strike set up a fuse that was going to a makeshift cannon that almost blew him and another person straight up. And in the course of redirecting that, there was a huge fire. A lot of people were completely it caused a huge scene. A cop showed up after everything had settled down. And he and Hero made themselves sparse. And then the following morning reconvened with Felina and decided to go about and clean up the loose ends of Sophie and Haley, the twins, who were harassing a cop as well. And in the course, you got yourself skateboards because you found some cops who were sabotaging a illegal skateboarding site.
By
And
being even more illegal about it.
Tubular.
And you made out of that with 3 skateboards. Angelo and Hero learned how to skateboard.
Tubular, man. Radical.
I've worked out the enchantments I want to give Felina and Hero skateboard.
Nice.
I still haven't worked out what I want to do for Angelo because it's kind of pointless when his magic is just so
He has
widely...
he has all the movement.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need more movement abilities. The best thing I could think of is just giving it essentially a jet turbine.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just do a simple
just have it crack with lightning. And just,
you could have it return to his hand each,
do
from a distance.
Shit with it.
Wow.
The problem there is I was considering enchanting my staff to do that, but Angelo isn't really a weapons guy anyway. So
yeah, it'd just be a cool thing, and it could cause lightning surges through the ground when you tap down.
So Snake, what are you gonna fuck up with our skateboard? Is Hero's skateboard gonna be it can never actually flip around? It's always horizontal.
No, I'm not that boring. I like what I've come up with though. You never got back to me with your adjustments for
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that comes up.
Okay.
Oh, I meant when you eventually fuck up.
But yeah, after the skateboard thing, you tied up the loose ends of the twins who were they were just harassing a cop, and they just stole from him to pay off their debt, and you went to go drop off the money, and that was when Felina, that was when Felina went and you all spotted, but only Felina was able to eavesdrop on a covert conversation that Silvana was having with Davros, where she very plainly and threateningly told him that that 6 months thing, that's no that she's not just gonna let that fly, and that sh he should amend the contract to have the consequences of annulment fall down on her instead of Angelo and Hero. To which Davros uh, thought she was being crazy, but seemed responded like he was okay, that like he was amenable to the idea, and that was what Felina heard. And so you, after that, you went and you got drunk, or Felina went and got drunk. Took you to a brothel slash bar where she got drunk and sad. And then Hero had Angelo walked out of the bar and brothel early to go walk around the city, while Hero had to bring Felina home to Stella's home, drunk and
No,
wild,
no.
where she was drinking and skateboarding, and broke a bunch of shit in Stella's house, uh, tore some shit up. While Angelo ran into Stella, just watching a street performance, a juggling performance by Polly at night. She was also pretty tipsy. She went on about Felina and
we bonded over
her.
shit talking her daughter, but ultimately
Yeah.
saying her heart's in the right place.
Yeah, and Stella saying that she's worried about how much she has from her dad, and Angelo obviously getting cagey about that because of his personal history with his dad.
Mm.
But it was a enlightening conversation. And then when you got home, you saw the absolute mess. But Hero and Angelo cleaned it right up. And in the morning, Felina woke up with a headache, but ultimately ready to go. Helped clean up. Apologized. Did she apologize to her mother? She might not have.
Yeah,
I think it was a sort of
She
thingy
sorry?
apology. It was a genuine apology.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
she didn't
yeah.
want to have to make.
Yeah. There
it
was
yeah.
there
They had a hug.
They had a hug. They had a hug. Stella told her to be safe. Gonna miss you. And decided to.
Lena kind of jokingly like, haha, so might be gone for a while, and I have an apart. But also like, hey, so in theory, if I am actually gone 6 months, I'm probably gonna get kicked out of my apartment. Unless you pay my rent for 6 months. So if that happens, could you like get my stuff and make sure it doesn't get thrown out?
Stella just asked you to send the money if you could, if you were out that long, and that she should do her best, and also told you that if you're heading around, it's also told you, hey, you should try and see the sights since you're heading out for a while anyway. You should visit the other cities, get a taste of other cultures, and specifically, if you're in Kansas, to hit up,
my namesake.
Yeah, you're basically your godmother, Katrina. A friend that had left Terrebonne while she was pregnant with Felina.
Yeah. Gone to the same place her dad who ran off did, which, interesting.
And also advised you to be careful if you're in Marion.
Yeah.
And with that, you went and fetched Scott, the Blue Ring Bearer, because he wanted to accompany you, since there's chance you might find some stuff up about those rings. And Silvana was waiting for you right outside the city. At which point, and then so in the morning hours, you departed from Terrebonne to head towards the mist with the intention of heading straight to Tensis, but cutting through the mist to get to Tensis. And so that's where we start now. Should we just do that perilous journey roll right now, or any talks you want to have?
As you say, I do want to have a talk. Actually, I kind of want to save it and see if there's a dramatically appropriate time in the session. Yeah, because it's a talk that is an Angelo revelation moment, and it'll feel weird. Just, hey, we're on the road.
Right.
Here's how my personality is changing.
Right. I get you.
We're off to see the wizard. The wonderful
We're
wizard
not.
of Oz.
We saw the wizard yesterday. We're leaving the wizard.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we've
We're-
left him. He's the best in Hemlock, despite what Angelo thinks.
We're off to leave the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Terrebonne.
The wonderful Jesus of Terrible.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
let's hit up this. That's me anyway. I say I'm
Alright.
good to just hit.
Yeah,
up the
sure,
perilous
let's do-
journey.
no one else has any scenes. Just want to have our roll.
Yeah,
All right.
let's
All right.
role
who's gonna,
play.
Who's going to navigate? Who's going to scout ahead? Who is going to master the quarters or manage provisions?
Oh, I gotta change my character.
Angelo,
before
you have
someone
18
gets-
intelligence too,
If
right?
you want, I will offer that you I don't have
Sylvana?
Sylvana, but also I don't have like a sheet for Scott, but I could finagle one if you want to assign him any duties.
We gotta work.
I
we
don't
do
think
have to
we'd
work
assign
out
him-
what his wises are and shit.
Yeah.
I don't trust.
I definitely
I-
wouldn't
I-
have him
I'm-
scout.
Can I confess that I have totally forgotten where Scott came from? I've just kind of like accepted
Circuit.
he's here.
You know, we just found him. We just found
Yeah,
him.
I just
in
can't
fucking-
remember when and why he
We-
happened.
Felina found him in Regents,
Okay.
in the crowd. She noticed her ring was like, ringing. Heard the bell, found him, and
Yeah.
they kind of met up and have been,
Yeah, he's the one who told her that the rings have powers. He
So we want
had
to
the
dominate
power
it.
to summon an incredible, an impenetrable, whirling blue energy shield, and
Oh.
also he's very kind of cautious and skittish.
He's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah,
I
he's a
call
bit
him
cagey,
off.
he's a bit skittish, but he's very
cagey.
eager. He's
Yeah.
Very eager, kind of a doormat a little bit.
Hmm.
He's
I would
down for anything, but
yeah.
he's gonna be a bit cautious about it.
And he
And he reads
confessed to you that his father did something to piss a lot of people off in Regents.
And he reads
And
Yowie.
there's about a dozen people, and then just disappeared entirely, leaving Scott just by himself in Regents, and doesn't know where he is. And because they can't find him, like a dozen different people in Regents basically want Scott dead.
Why is this the party of family issues except for Hero?
And
we
so
need
that's
that
like
contrast.
part of why he joined in on you.
Also, Lavana family issues necessarily.
I mean,
It's
may-
loss and distrust of family issues.
I
Well,
mean, she was already an orphan
Oh,
when
yeah.
she was happy.
I mean, consider this. What if Vigor was sort of her substitute family member?
we haven't really gone into how their relationship has changed or developed since, and I don't know if there really has been much. I think it's just been if Vigor has been trying to wean her off of violence, he hasn't done well.
I mean, he's too busy. He's too busy fucking jogging each morning and reading the newspaper.
He runs several houses for people who have been
Yeah.
displaced and fights.
And when it comes to how she uses her skills,
At least it's
there's-
better than how he
there's-
was using
yeah,
them in his
and there's
heyday.
sort of there's sort of a tension there. Where he doesn't know how much of a leg he has to stand on.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
he's tried to.
I mean, it
advance. You
also
can't
doesn't
let
tell that
past
he's literally
hypocrisies
part of a
hold you
mob.
down.
Yeah.
Like, it literally doesn't.
Well,
help.
Wouldn't you,
Vigor-
instead of stopping criminals, wouldn't you rather be in a fighting pit?
Well,
Well, you
Vigor,
see,
no,
Vigor-
Vigor doesn't get in
Yeah,
the
no.
fighting pit much
Right.
anymore. He just
No.
manages it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would think, like Vigor is sort of he's connected to he
He's
has
connected to
an
a woman who
affiliation
she
with
Yeah,
Ari-
no,
he has an affiliation with Ariana, but he's not really part of the mob. I'd say
I think he has kind of affiliated, but he's not like. I don't think. I think considering their history and what happened, I don't think Ariana has him
yeah.
running dicier, dodgier.
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
nowadays.
I think she mostly
I
uses
assume he kind of
for,
keeps
like-
that out of his sight. He just kind of does. He doesn't want to be involved with like the back dealings or whatever.
I assume
He sort
it's
of knows that
mostly
they're
like,
there.
he, like, when guys at fights seem like they'd be good, he kind of, like, recruits them, like, are you interested in some more work, and kind of sends them Ariana's way. I assumed was the sort of, like,
I imagine a very distant relationship with the mob.
yeah, like, doesn't have more just like fights, sort of like
I think
recruits
Vigor
people,
personally has become above
yeah,
board.
I don't imagine Vigor's like going out doing enforcement work.
I think he's mostly like community relations and just like a friendly face on things, which is dodgy as fuck in its own right, but
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily for the mob. I feel like I think Vigor's only relationship with the mob is that if Ariana if Ariana can ask him for a favor, sometimes he may, as long as it's not too malicious. Anyway, but that's all tangential.
So,
We
I can do navigation if we want to do it that way.
I guess Hero can scout ahead. He's usually good at that. I'm Hero. I'm good at stuff.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Well, what is your wisdom, Hero?
My wisdom is actually, I think it's maxed. Yeah. Now
that sounds like
I mean, clearly mechanically, actually, he's sort of wise. He's not smart. He's in this
but he's
I have just realized, like, thinking about the intelligence, the general average of the intelligence stat, we are the smartest party of the dumbest people.
Oh yeah, no, we are
clearly intelligence does not, in fact, correlate.
Every one of us, if you do have max wisdom, all of us have at least maxed intelligence or wisdom. Felina is 18 intelligence, 13 wisdom, and 15 charisma. That's about to be 16 charisma.
Angelo is 18 intelligence, 9 wisdom, 8 charisma. He is... Yeah. He is not wise, he is not charismatic, or at least
he has all the know-how, but not much of the application.
None of the street smarts, none of the
Hero's charisma. Hero's
not much of the application.
Hero's charisma is 8.
Or the awareness, which is also
so Felina has... Wait, you both have 8 charisma?
Yeah.
So Felina's about to have both of your charismas put together. That's fun.
And yet she's the one who just keeps talking shit.
What does it say about us that we both made people who really want to be heroes and do right by people and gave them fucking ass charisma?
I mean, Hero is more like he's a nice kid, but he's really bad at just
convincing.
Charisma's fun. I think Murray had 8 charisma. No, she had 9 charisma. Oh, Murray had 8 intelligence. That's right. That was that made sense though. She had 13 wisdom.
So, but so we have Angelo navigating, Felina managing provisions, and Hero scouting ahead.
Yeah.
Wait, and you had 9 wisdom, right, Angela?
I have 9 wisdom. Yeah, just
okay. So that
0.
makes sense. That is optimal. I will do provisions. Hero will scout, and
all right.
Oh boy. See, the thing is, mechanically it makes sense. In character, do you trust Felina managing provisions?
That's why I was saying, maybe Hero should take care of the provisions, while Felina scouts ahead.
Felina would not scout ahead. Felina would navigate, but...
Maybe Angelo wants to scout ahead.
It's funny as well, because in character, from Angelo being a tactics head, fucking going... Felina scouting makes the most sense since she's the most attentive and a thief, but
she's also ironically, despite being the cat burglar thief with max dexterity, she is the least mobile of the 3 of us too. Ironically.
Oh god, you're right. And also the fucking tech. Well, that might change if I ever get a moment with these skateboards.
Oh, that would be exciting.
This is Angelo's arc now. He's gonna try and take our skateboards.
I'm gonna ask for them.
With level 11, her mobility should go up some, but...
I am gonna ask though. It'll be understandable if Felina or Hero are like, no, don't fuck with a skateboard. I've seen what you've done with these things.
Okay, but this is Felina. Do you think she would ever take the safe, not risky, but potentially
Fair
stupid
point.
and cool option?
Yeah. God, I hope I don't curse
Curiosity
one of these
kills the-
skateboards though. That would be sick. That would be
If Felina's ever like, okay, this is probably a bad idea, but it might be cool or might be interesting, or I wonder what would happen. Like, this could go wrong, but I don't know how it will go wrong. Like, curiosity killed the cat. She's almost always going to go for it.
Anyway, I'm gonna finally roll that navigation.
Oh,
Nice.
fine.
Technically, yeah, nice. We've said because we've gone over this before, and I guess because there was like opposition or like there was controversy about it, but the book does technically want you to do scout ahead first and then navigate and resolve
I thought it was
resolve.
navigate first.
No, scout ahead and then navigate
Here
and
we go,
resolve the moves in that order. So like
Sorry.
the book want no it's fine. There was some, we brought it up like last campaign and there was controversy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, scout. it makes sense.
Because the idea is that the book wants you to choose your options on scout ahead without knowing what the navigation roll will be.
Yeah.
Which
So like you don't know if there's danger for you to avoid or not.
Which is not something that we have. You've all gotten used to being able to just want to know what the navigate is before choosing your scout ahead.
No, I'm down for not knowing. I think it's fun to like
Yeah.
I mean, we've done it risky in the past. I know because.
But hey, both tens,
Yeah.
so whatever.
Hey,
For a long time I was always the scout person, but now with Azora and Felina, I've finally broken away from being the scout.
All right. So manage those provisions, Felina.
Oh yeah, wisdom, right?
Yep.
9.
Nice.
Let me-
she's wasting money.
Yeah,
She's-
y'all just consume one ration.
It's one ration. Globe.
Felina, what are y'all? I'm curious. Like, what kind of rations do y'all get? Like, just hardtack. What is your,
I imagine like Hero getting more like dried fishy stuff, like
fish?
and
Fried
I
fish?
Like
yeah,
salted, dried, preserved.
yeah, salted dry, like stuff like that. Then maybe some. Rice works in provision stuff.
I think for Angelo, it's dried fruits, nuts, and like grains.
Yeah,
Nuts.
Yeah,
Vigor
this
twitches
is how
a
I'm
bit.
contrasting him.
Actually,
with
no.
Vigor,
You know what?
He's on stuff that's like very like protein and like dense.
He hasn't been red pilled on nuts yet. Or black
He hasn't
pilled, I
been
guess.
like cuck pilled or black pilled, whatever. No, it's actually like nutted in this setting. It's like you get red nutted, you don't get pilled. We don't have pills yet.
Nice.
Red nut.
Actually, no.
Eat
you know
the
what?
red nut.
Oh, you know what?
Don't eat. My advice, any viewers listening, don't eat red nut. He's probably got something wrong with him.
Oh, no.
You don't want any
Oh
that.
god, the thought
bad
of that
side.
is
Ooh.
something else.
My.
Imagine not learning about testicular
So,
cancer because
Hero.
they swallow.
Oh, you know what, Hero? Actually,
Choose two.
That's the worst thought I've ever
Hmm?
put to a fucking
Hmm?
recording.
On scout ahead.
And it was
Choose
Yeah.
two.
It's
sure.
okay. I think I couldn't hear it. Got
Yeah.
drowned out.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Scouts ahead. We are gonna, first of all, we're gonna discern a beneficial aspect of the terrain, and then,
Right.
What do we want to know? What do we want next?
Oh, what's
Do we want to
what's,
make
what's
it?
the beneficial aspect? You're moving through the parch lands.
Parchland.
God,
Yeah,
the thought
very-
that the British
I mean,
Army
I
used to
could
drink
say
beef
shortcut, but
tea.
I don't want to be I don't want to be boring. But
Well, it's very dried, sort of almost kind of wasteland.
imagine a lot of winds.
There can be winds. It's. But yeah, so what terrain? What about the terrain? What aspect of it do you spot?
Um,
Uh,
it's a lot of sun, right? Like because it's like
Yeah, it's summer. The sun's shining.
yeah. No, Hero finds some, fuck it. He's gonna find a really good path where like it's kind of next to some big rocks. Leads to a lot of nice,
Oh, so
good,
shade, basically.
yeah, lots of good shade, and also visibility. Like
All right.
nobody
Okay.
sees us.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you got the shade. All right.
And
Uh.
then my second one, what I wanna get for the second one. Have we made a discovery recently? Should we make a
haven't in a
discovery?
while. We've been city bound. This
Yeah, it's
session
been
has
a
been off
long
to
time.
the slowest start ever. Let's fucking slow it down even more. I'm not kidding.
Or
I'm down to like make a discovery. We got a bit of
No, I
like.
wasn't being ironic. Let's fucking
Oh,
do
no,
it.
yeah.
Let's-
Yeah.
let's
We're
do
back
it.
out in the wild.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's find a discovery. Let's make some drama, baby.
Into the wild. All right. Roll 3d12.
3d12. Here we go. Dragon again.
Did that make the third
3D.
time that Swede has done that?
Oh wow.
Yes! Yes! We're fucked.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's Angelo. It's your long lost brother.
Bangelo!
And he plays the banjo.
He actually, like,
Ow.
blasts wind from his banjo. I picture that. That actually sounds cool as shit.
Howdy, brother.
Just
We meet.
tornadoes. Fucking...
We meet again, brother.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
He's destroyed
shit.
so many trailer parks with his banjo tornadoes.
Or should I say, cave?
Let's see. Roll another 3d12.
I actually had a neighbor when I went on holiday. He's passed away now, unfortunately. He was for 10 years, he was an old guy, and he just used to like sit out in his garden, like outside his caravan, playing banjo all day. It was pretty sweet, actually.
Oh wow. Yeah, that sounds nice.
Meow.
When I was I was on a trip through like the Blue Ridge like Parkway in North Carolina, way out west, and deep in Appalachia, and we stopped at this one like sort of tourist info site, but the guy who worked there was the most concentrated like Appalachian like motherfucker I've ever seen. He had like the big long beard, and he was just he had a dulcimer, or like a mountain dulcimer, which is not a dulcimer, it's like a whole separate string instrument, and a banjo, and just like, because I had pointed out like, oh, that's a nice instrument, and he was like, oh yeah, custom made, this guy hunts groundhogs and it's made from groundhog hide, and he just started playing and doing these like folk songs, and it was the most like cool Appalachia concentrated experience I've had.
As a man who is perfectly in his environment.
Oh yeah. He had what do you call it? When you're on one hand, when you're born without like fingers too, or like some of the hand is like stuff, which on his like banjo hand, so he had like, and he used a like that adjusted how he played in a really interesting way, and he used a weird grip with his other hand too, a claw hammer grip or something like that. I don't know, it was really cool.
Okay. Alright.
Neo is like taking a long time to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it can be.
You've given him
sometimes
some
these
fucked
can
up
just.
shit, Swede.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's like bad. Sometimes it's just weird what happens.
Yeah,
you
no.
know, what they generate.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the return of milkshake.
Give
Oh,
me another
no.
d12.
What do you say? Another D12?
Yeah, another d12.
We do have quite a bit of stuff that was unleashed in Party 3 that has not yet come home to roost in the later party.
Oh yeah, no, that whole shit by the Beggar's Bayou with that fucking tomb or whatever, that's...
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot.
The Pazuzus?
Yes.
The Pazuzus, yeah, like, we're
They were
fucked.
kind of
like...
insectoid, though.
They were like Pazuzus. Because the
Hey kid, it's me.
Yeah.
The Exorcist statue is how I describe them. Right?
It's me,
Yeah.
funny demon Pazuzu.
Okay. Ooh. Give me 2 more d12s.
R2D12. Or do you want them separately?
Actually, 3d12. 3d12.
3D12.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, if this is gonna be bad for all Felina's gonna do. Why did you see this?
You know, I remember when O'Malley scouted ahead instead of Ariana and what happened with that.
Oh yeah, was it like Ariana normally did it, but we convinced you to O'Malley?
Yeah, and then we got the dragon.
I mean, that was such a nice, rich, it added character to the campaign.
No, it was good. It gave us a really nice narrative arc. It gave us a good point to wrap up on, and it ended up like drastically improving Ariana's life. But it made Sylvana's life a lot worse and a lot of other elves.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying is,
No, it was
Okay,
a net positive.
she should in fact thank O'Malley.
I'm going to need a 2d12 now.
It's fucked up that in character Vigor was so horrified and still has guilt about all that. Meanwhile, out of character, Snake's like, yes, you're destroying the elf village.
Hell,
The ones who
yeah.
made Vigor into the nutcuck.
That's why I'm such a great role player. I can separate my hatred of elves from my characters.
Yeah.
Next character I play is going to be like a frothing at the mouth elf racist, and it's going to be wild.
Felina's elf racist.
Is the plot twist gonna be that he is in fact an elf?
Oh yeah, he's gonna hide his ears. He's gonna he's gonna have rounded his ears off with surgery or whatever.
Oh, this is.
Oh god, I'm Jesus Christ, that's the.
All right, so, Hero.
Yeah.
As you're leading the party through these through these paths that you find with large boulders and rocks that with overhangs, to shade from the sun at the harsh summer sun of the south in the summer.
Yeah.
You're moving ahead, and through a small crack in the boulders, something catches your eye, and you peer through, and you see that you see in the and you peer through and you see that this sort of shortcut you found of these boulders actually are forming they formed this. You see what looks like a tower.
Tower.
Just like a few dozen yards away. Past these boulders, and past that tower, you see what looks like more boulders. Yeah.
A tower, more boulders, civilization.
So yeah, what do you do?
I mean,
God, we've been out of civilization for months, at least hours. Oh God.
I mean, the most logical way would be to wait for my allies to come here, and then we make a decision all together. And so Hero does.
All right.
Oh wow. I feel bad about doing that, but there we go. Let's do it.
I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, because I think it's always looking for the excuse to go and report to the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, yes, he's not Felina. If this was Felina, she would have probably gone in there.
Well, you wait for the others catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh, did you find something, hero?
Yeah, look over there. Points at where it.
Yeah, there's a hole. Yeah, there's a crack in the boulders. Yeah, you have to
I
pierce
see a
through.
crack.
Look through the crack.
Do you think it's a sign? Oh yeah, okay. Angelo kind of like approaches it, but as he's approaching, he asks, "Do you believe it's a sign of some greater danger?"
I don't know. You'll be the judge.
Angelo peers through.
Right. So yeah, you see this. Sort of earthen tower, just sort of with sprung up from the ground a few yards away, several yards away, and what looks like a wall of boulders in the distance, further behind it.
It's a curious find, but
Yeah.
Can I spout lore on this?
You can. Sure, yeah. Local area. It's a pretty
Wait, and this
local
is in
area.
Deadwater?
Oh wait, no, sorry.
Was it? Okay. Okay,
My
cool.
problem. Yes.
Intelligence. That's what I roll, not damage. Boom. Boom. Local area.
All right. So, so yeah, you've probably read about.
I've read a
Parkland, right?
a lot of stuff about the history of the local area, and also just
Right.
I've talked to people. There might be, sometimes the kids go up to Scrap Heap. Scrap Heap's one of the only places Felina's been outside of Terrebonne, and there are probably rumors and stuff about shit you can find out in Parklands too. Pick your poison on if this is something Felina knows from history or urban,
Right.
like
So
kids
there
talking
are.
about shit.
All right. There's been the parchlands are very inhospitable to permanent settlement
Mhm.
for lack of water, access to water for one thing, and but there have been accounts throughout history of sort of people who have managed to wield some sort of people who wield these sort of powers. People. Often these great magicians, great wizards, would attempt to make their homes in the parched lands,
Ooh.
but because they were attuned with uh, the earth in a very particular
Mhm.
way, and they would form communities around them. But most of them have been known to die out.
Oh wow. Felina says looking at that. Yeah, I've heard about these, okay, it's pretty hard to live out here, but there were some really great wizards, really good, best of the best type people, legendary, stuff of legends, and they'd come out here and, set up communities and whatnot. As you can see from the looks of it, and the fact that, most people haven't heard of any great wizard communities out here, tended to not do too well, but I guess the lesson is no matter how great you are, you can always still fail.
You took a very long and winding road to arrive at the most cynical reading of this, didn't you?
I thought that was optimistic.
Oh.
Yeah, sure it was.
Failure's what makes things interesting. You gotta, if you just automatically succeed at everything, then what's the point of doing anything? It's no fun.
You know what? I suppose you're right.
I am right.
So it's probably abandoned, right? That Scott says.
Probably abandoned, and
at you.
if these were great wizards, maybe they left something great behind.
Or maybe they're great enough they just, if they went out here, maybe they didn't want to be. Maybe they were tired of being cool and popular and famous and successful and wanted people to think they failed. So they used their magic to, disguise it. Maybe they're still there. Maybe if you went in, you could meet them and they'd be your friends.
What? What are you talking about, Felina?
Before I was going to suggest going in and looking for things, but now I'm slightly more cagey that you've said that.
You shouldn't let things I say get to you so much, Angela. That's my advice to you.
Okay, I
This is
won't.
my advice. Don't take things I say to heart.
Sylvana.
How do you want me to respond to that?
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna say Sylvana sort of is like brushing her hand across the boulders and says, I don't think these are natural.
Well, wizards did them.
Yeah, abracadabra.
She looks at you, Hero. Looks like you didn't find. Looks like you found a wall.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's a wall of stone. All right.
So so if there is a wall, why would you think it's abandoned?
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, examining that. There's a wall, but is there anything like a gate or an entryway, like looking around, or is it just?
Well, not in your immediate area, but you'd have to circumnavigate.
Well, I mean, like looking through the crack and scanning the surrounding wall, basically. So, but from where I'm standing, I can't see an entryway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Angelo just kind of looks around as that, and I don't see an entryway, at least from here. But you make a point. You and Felina both make a point. Both it may not be abandoned. May not be natural. Maybe still be kept.
What time of the day is it?
All right. It's probably noon, like high noon.
We left Terrebonne this morning, and we made it to the Parchland. That's a few hours wander. So,
yeah. So let's say Sylvana says, "Let me take a look. I have good eyesight."
Yeah, Angelo steps away from the crack.
Yeah, and she looks in, and sort of squints a bit, and says, "It's not just a tower. There are huts." Think I see movement.
Oh,
They're giant big snail aliens?
What?
You said there were huts.
Oh.
Alright,
funny
let's
joke.
think about this. On average, how good have the things we found in the Parchlands been? We found Clinton. We found...
Yeah.
Did we find Milkshake in here?
Yes, we did.
The things happen in the Parchlands.
You found there was the puddle that
Yeah,
just
the mirror
gave you
puddle
anything.
that gave us the fucking totem things that
could give you
Renshax had been
anything.
holding over our heads.
There was back in party 1 there was a time frog.
I'm gonna say the Parchlands
It's
aren't
time elemental.
The Parchlands just shit pops off here, so this makes me very tempted to walk in, but also kind of terrified.
I mean, we're also
didn't Angelo find the place the people in the cloud? Wasn't that in the Parchlands too?
It was.
There was
Aegis.
also Aegis. Sorry,
Aegis,
Aegis. Yeah. There was also didn't Azora get her like cool sniper rifle in the Parchlands?
No, that was Scrap Heap.
Oh,
the Scrap Heap is carved out into the Parchland, so
kinda counts. Kinda.
Oh, we got the explosive bike in the Parchlands, though, I think. Those people were from Scrap Heap, but I think we met them in the Parchlands.
Yeah. So, yeah, fucking so much stuff happens on this connector between what I consider, like, the central and the south divide of Hemlock.
But we also have an issue of, we're kind of stressed for time.
Are we stressed? Well, we're stressed for time in a matter of days.
You mean on a meta level?
Oh,
like
no, I
out
meant...
of game? Oh.
No, in game, like, that's what...
We're trying to keep up with the circus and make some arrangements.
But... I mean, there are like several stops that are listed on that contract, and like each one.
No, I'm just raising the point. But like, if it's not like that,
I guess that is the core question. Do we want to find a way in here? Because Angelo is sort of interested, sort of cagey.
Well, Hero has a way. I mean...
Yeah,
Hero can
just walk. Hero's the one who can just go.
But then, guys, that would be like breaking in.
Oh, now when you put it like that, let's go.
Do you consider walking through the gate to Terrebonne breaking in?
I don't like Terrebonne.
Well,
you haven't met
neither
these
do I.
people. Maybe you'll hate them too. You
I'll
seem
make
to be good at like hating people.
I'll make a bad impression.
You've already made bad impressions. It's been
What
fun.
What are you talking about? Almost everyone who've met me liked me.
Well, if you're gonna go in, Scott pipes up. Have an exit strategy.
Okay,
Smart.
that's good advice. That's good advice. Anything you would advise?
Well, you found it through a crack. You could probably break open the crack if you have to.
That would definitely make a bad impression on the way in or out.
Well, I get you're just kind of gambling on how far they'll chase.
Good point.
I mean, we could just make a pit stop here and see if there's anyone home.
It might be good to just flag it up, find out if this place is friendly in case we ever need a rest stop. So perhaps if we, you know what? Yeah, Angelo is going to. Actually, Neo, question, just like something.
Yeah?
Is this place underground, or is it just?
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah. There's like this circular. It's just sort of obscured by a wide sort of circular,
Wall.
Yeah.
Okay,
rock
yeah.
formation.
Angelo's just gonna take a step back and just go up. He's just gonna take
Yeah.
off and look for an entranceway.
All right.
Meanwhile, in the distance, you can hear some people shouting, "Tear down the wall."
Gorbachev.
I was thinking Pink Floyd.
All right. So rolls.
I'm gonna blow your
discern
mind.
realities. Discern realities for me, Angelo.
Alright. Discern realities.
All right. One question.
One question. God, I'm trying to think what would be the most. What should I be on the lookout for?
All right. So, you can see that these huts and all that, they're made of, earth and rock, much like the natural, sort of look.
These
They
people
from a
weren't
distance,
importing
they look
building
quite
materials.
natural.
They were working
Yes.
with what they had locally.
Yeah, it looks quite natural, and you can see Silvana said she spotted movement, so you're sort of looking where she pointed it out, and you can see it looks like you see one of the huts just sort of shutters and just sort of opens itself up, like one of the rock just kind of cracks and parts itself for someone to step out.
Do I see someone step out?
Yes, someone does step out. They're away and they don't notice you because this is a distance. But yeah, that looks like they have a way. Looks like they're doing something to make parts of the rock, part way for entrance and exit. And if that's the case for the huts, could be the case for the walls.
Yeah. So being up this high, then it doesn't look like there is a natural entranceway. It's just the wall might part for them if they so choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Angelo flies back down then, and says to the group, "So I believe there is magic afoot, and there is no entranceway. The rocks part for them."
Wait, they part?
There are definitely magic types here.
The rocks part for them, just with their sheer will?
I can imagine. I saw it from a distance. Someone stepped out of their home. The rock seemingly just moved of its own accord for them.
Interesting.
They've got and furthermore, they've done this out of materials local to the land, so they might be tied to the parched lands. Maybe. I'm just spitballing at that point.
Well, do you want to go say hey, or are you satisfied with that?
I will take that to the group on this one. Considering the whole place is enveloped by a wall and there is no clear entranceway, I don't think they want to be bothered.
Maybe they only want to be bothered by, other magic users powerful and clever and cool enough to get in. Maybe it's their, barrier for entry. You have to be this, good to get in.
you know what? Let me try something. Angelo like walks away from the crack. He walks up to another bit of the wall, and he's going to try and move it.
Ah.
Nani?
Gonna cast an unattuned dispel.
I'm gonna cast an unattuned spell. That's a -1, ain't it?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hero stands in the background, speedwalking. Wait, is he gonna? I thought the Angelo could only bend the wind to his will. Is he an elementalist?
You do see that he is like sort of out of his element, sort of straining on this one. Literally out of his element. Let's roll.
Amazing! Angelo is far more powerful than I can imagine.
Boom.
Yeah, Angelo attunes to the rock, tries to fiddle his way of what he imagines the magic to be, and what happens?
Right. Yeah. Let me check. That's the mage, right? I just want to see, like, I just want to make sure that that's just like it's a -1 for not.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that it's -1 instead of like rolling at disadvantage.
No. Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
When you weave a spell that is aligned to your focus, your modifier to the roll can't be less than +1. When you weave a spell that is neither aligned nor opposed to your focus, take -1 to the roll.
-1 to the roll. Okay, yeah. Cool. Right. So yeah, you sort of wave your hand over, and yeah, you sort of start to figure out like the makeup of the rock, and eventually, yeah, it starts to just sort of slowly crack and part itself to form an entrance.
Figure if we're inviting ourselves in, we may as well play by their rules, right?
You know, I kind of want to make it like when Angelo opens up the rocks, Hero stands on the other side because he is teleported behind them.
He
just goes, amazing! Just amazing, Angelo! Amazing!
What? I was trying to make a show of good faith.
No, actually, no. Hero does not
do that.
Helena does. Something I do. So, like when Hero's just like, going on. I didn't know you could do that. Helena just does sort of that. What have you shown us everything you can do? You don't have anything else. You've been keeping close to your chest.
What? What do you mean? No.
There are many forms of magic in the world. Some more limited, some more focused. Some can be shackling. Come on, let's introduce ourselves. If this place isn't abandoned, we may as well learn what it's all about, right?
Yeah, sure, no.
Could be a good resting point with barriers such as these in case we ever run into trouble. If the locals like us. Yeah, so
right,
Angelo walks in.
You're walking in, and some people have come out of their huts and notice you, and one of them calls out to you in a language not in English, not in common.
Yeah.
Not in common. English is always common. That's the new name. So yeah.
Oh.
They call to you in a separate language.
This is going to be tricky.
Can you use magic to translate?
I was just thinking maybe I'll try. I had the wankiest idea just going through my head of how to translate it, which was just the wind changes the sound vibrations into common as they approach us.
No, that's... What are words? Language is just vibrations in the air.
Like...
I think you should, push it. It's very JoJo. I think Angela should lean into JoJo.
Would the magic itself understand the language?
Yes. Yeah, it does.
It's magic.
I know, it's magic. It's all bullshit. I'm trying. I'm trying here.
The air frequency vibrates attuned to his language. It's so JoJo. I think Angelo should work on JoJo logic.
I don't want my magic to be a win-all solution to any difficulty we run into. It's like, that's the tricky part.
That's so fucking weird.
He's meeting other magician people. He needs to flex his magic muscles.
That's
like
actually a first question. I don't do I just not recognize the language?
I mean, you can try. It's. I don't
Ye-
know what your history is with other
Yeah,
languages.
I went to a
so.
magical school, but it's like the question is like without figuring away, is the magic is the language related to like
Yeah.
any old wizard script?
Would you like to spout lore?
Sure. Let's
They're
try that
actually
instead of
they're
cast spell, so I'm not just spelling all over the place. To
they're actually speaking an ancient lost
even though
language
I
known
do really
as.
like my wind bullshit idea.
uh,
I think it's.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try.
But no, they're actually speaking an old dead language,
Ooh.
only known as
Alright.
Australian.
okay.
They were all banished to the realm down under.
Yeah. So the language that gets called out in it's not a language that's really. It's an old, ancient language that's not exactly in use by anyone, but it is occasionally used as a call sign for sorcerers and wizards.
Aha, perfect.
Yeah,
Abracadabra.
they're likely, so they might be expecting some sort of coded response back.
Okay, so Angelo knows that much. So I think instead Angelo this is I've got one. So Angelo without being able to communicate language just kind of lets his hair just kind of blow in the breeze a lot more violently, just kind of the tell physically, and he turns to Felina. Felina, you've got psychic blades, correct?
I do.
Do you mind pricking this finger? And he puts up his index finger.
But okay, to bleed.
To bleed.
Can her
Sure.
blades break skin?
Yeah, I can cut off limbs.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, my Twilight Blade, your Psychic Blade can cut through solid objects. You can also cut through one of their possessions or weapons, blah blah blah. So yeah, I'll just prick his finger. Technically, this deals no damage too.
If I was like a jackass, I was like, oh, actually, that sounds like an all or nothing sever, but
No,
have to cut his finger off. That'd be a great, just misinterpretation, right?
No, yeah, Felina psychically extends an invisible claw out and pricks Angelo's finger.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I got my finger pricked by one of my cats, and it hooked her claw under my fucking nail bed, and it really hurt. So I wrapped my finger in a bandage real tight, and now I have this super bad fucking blister on the side of my finger that's now calloused and dark.
Jesus.
Fucking and
glad
hard.
to hear it.
I'm mad about this.
I still have scars on the side of my lip where I got headbutted by Marlowe and my tooth went through my lip.
I remember that.
Anyway. So Angelo just kind of just shows the blood. He's trying to just show blood of a sorcerer, family blood, bloodline magic.
Guy. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, they sort of there's a sort of murmuring amongst each other. And then just one of them just holds a hand up as and holds a hand up to you and a hand up to the rest of his people, and just moves over to approach you.
While he's approaching, Angelo
signaling
does
you.
kind of inform the rest of the group. That may not be the language they all speak. That language could be a call sign to sorcerers. And yeah, I was intentionally stumbling on sorcerer then, but on the other part of that.
Nice.
So, they may understand what we say. We're about to find out.
So yeah, he's.
Oh man, I hope my
towards
accent
you,
doesn't get in the way.
I'm assuming you can approach. I'm assuming you're approaching as well.
Yeah,
meet him in the middle.
Angelo walks towards them as well and kind of calls out, "Ho, the name is Angelo Elgado."
Ah, I see you're a sorcerer.
Yes,
and,
that I am.
And I guess whoever honed your skills never taught you Narina.
Narina, that can't say they did.
Well, oh, the old, the el- the older arts of speaking amongst speaking amongst ourselves. Well, still, sorcerer is a sorcerer, and we are to greet you. The rest of your party, I see you have companions.
Greetings.
They come of different stock, but they're good people.
Different.
So, what brings you here?
My traveling companion, and Angelo points to Hero, he stumbled across a crack in your wall. We were curious. We're traveling our way. We're making our way north, and none of us had heard of a city of sorcerers secreted in the Parchlands, though I suppose that's the point of being secreted.
The walls are meant to, they're meant to appear to the naked eye. They're just very natural rock formations. Interesting. It's quite a sight your friend has found.
Oh, it's nothing. I just noticed it.
Well, you're not. Well, we are from an older breed.
That I can tell. They don't even teach arcane languages in, well, the institution in which I learned.
He looks you over. You're from one of those cities, aren't you?
Angelo nods.
Well, anyone who has well, if you're here and you're not here and you don't mean us harm, then there's no reason for us to treat you with any hostility.
We don't intend any harm, and if you wish us to keep this place a secret, I can promise that much.
That's very much appreciated. So, would you like to come in, or are you just stopping by?
Angelo looks to the group on that one.
I mean, I think we have the time to spare if you wanna.
Yeah, Felina's just sort of looking to Angelo, like she sort of has her arms crossed and not in a defensive way, in a like curious, somewhat deferential way. She's stepping back a bit, like just very much enjoying observing how Angelo, engages with the situation.
Yeah, okay. Angelo turns back. That would be appreciated.
Very well. Follow me.
Other sorcerers. That's interesting.
You haven't met that many other sorcerers?
And then Angelo just kind of catches himself and realizes that he just very nonchalantly revealed that he went to an institution in front of everyone.
Yeah. Felina is mostly paying very close attention to Angelo, but am curious and sort of glancing, how are Scott and Sylvana reacting to all this? How do they seem to be processing this?
Sylvana sort of is wearing like a kind of a neutral expression. Like she's on guard as usual. Scott, on the meanwhile, has sort of looking around. And he looks like he has his ring hand in his pocket. Like he seems to be. He doesn't want. He's seeming to hide it.
You think
Felina does, like fall back a
to...
bit and nudge him, like, you can hang back if you wanna. Don't feel obligated to follow on our account.
Sure. I mean, if you're not gonna take too long, but I don't know if anything will garble me up. But I'll wait by the inner wall.
Also, it's gonna be odd for Sylvana, just in a weirdly nostalgic sense of a small, somewhat
a small village.
Yeah.
And yes, Scott decides to hang back by the entrance. sort of looking out the entrance just to see if anything will come along. But yeah, he turns to you. The man looks to you and says, you may. My name is Avendus, and
Evendus.
I am yes. I inherited the tower from. Well, I inherited the tower at a young age. This has been a sorcerer. This has been a commune for a few hundred years.
Managed to keep yourselves pretty well hidden. I don't think I'd never heard of such a place. And well, people travel the parched lands all the time. I don't know how keyed in you are on the wider world, but
We keep an eye on things. Wizard sorcerer pilgrimages, pil, pilgrimages. Is that a word? Fuck.
yes, pilgrimages.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, wizard sorcerer pilgrimages used to be quite more common, but as of recent, it seems that they've become more. It seems they've become more centralized in the urban areas.
Is there a shared bloodline here? Fae, demon?
No, well, all our ancestors came here hundreds of years ago. But there's, so we are mostly all the same families. So I suppose in a sense.
In a sense.
Does this
And yeah.
place have a name?
Inior.
Ooh, how do you spell that?
Inior.
I gotta spell actually Evendas as well. How?
Yeah, Avendas.
Are these also just were these guys wizards, sorcerers, mages? Is there any term
They were using the terms interchangeably.
Okay.
Okay, because Angelo generally uses it as magic inherited from like a bloodline.
Yeah.
Rather than like a learned skill or like
like
attunement to something.
Yeah.
Which actually, I mean, does make Hero just as much of a sorcerer by Angelo's own definition if it is like bloodline related.
So what does that make Felina to Angelo's?
More like an attuned or just, I don't know, actually closer to a wizard who is someone who can like acquire. Actually, no, because wizard doesn't have, because wizards use spells and ropes.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know if there is like a general term in the thing for someone who picks up magical ability through circumstance or like acquisition.
Felina refers to herself as psychic.
I guess that's a way of doing it. I don't think that's.
I mean,
But that's not. That's pretty different from Angelo's.
So it's like a flavor of power.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because Hero just considers him like a martial arts more than
Which is
anything.
funny because that's what Angelo wanted to pretend to be.
Yeah.
And also, like,
that's
by
how
your
Megan, like,
Actually-
she would be by this land standards magic. But
Actually,
she
by your
doesn't consider it
definition,
magic.
Hero would be a sorcerer
Yeah.
because it's technically like a blood.
Yeah.
But like, if I was playing Megan, Megan would probably consider, like, she would accept what Angelo does, martial arts. You know, just sort of like, she would consider like the Mirage School like a martial. You know, martial magic is still martial arts in her view.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he growth you. He explains that you know, who you are, and that you're just sort of travelers to the rest of the community who all just sort of nod and accept you. And then he turns to you and says, "So since I haven't had a sorcerer visit in my lifetime."
You haven't. That's interesting.
They all tend to stay in the family these days.
Some people have to. Some people like to break away.
Right. Well, by rights, I shouldn't. I must invite you into the tower.
You say that as though it doesn't commonly happen anymore.
Again, we haven't received a sorcerer in many decades.
Well,
Actually, I'll be right back in a.
I'll be honored to. I'll be honored to take you up on that.
Very well. Yeah, and he beckons you in, sort of opens the doorway and looks to your group and says, they may accompany you, but they're not. They may not make you much. They might not make much use of what they find.
Angelo looks back to the group, and just kind of he shrugs. He shrugs.
Silavana across his arm and says, his arm says, I'll just stick around. I'll just stick around the huts. I'll be out here if you need anything.
Right. He looks at Felina. You don't have to come with if it bores you.